Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new around here. My name is Ashley and I go by the Ashleyness here. We are playing PlanetZoo today and this is my Esme zoo. And yes, I'm a Twilight fan. If you're recognizing the name, that's where it's from. I just felt it was an appropriate name. It's just really pretty. Anyway, today we're going to be building our education center. Now this did take quite a lot of time. This is sped up, so don't worry, it's not going to take as long as it took for me to build it. But it was inspired by this photo here. Now, I did find lots of inspiration by it, and I couldn't copy it exactly, of course, but I feel like I got pretty darn close. I do find that using inspiration from the internet or literature or anything else is really, really helpful when it comes to building. You run out of ideas at some point, and it's just a good idea to do research. Anyway, I do the staff buildings in this building that's intended for education purposes because I feel like, special tours can come in and see like the quarantine and the, where they prepare the food and the vets and stuff like that. And, when you come to learn about the zoo animals and stuff like that. So, and inside the building, there will be some education, of course, on its own, like some bulletin boards and stuff like that. Now, this building did take me quite a long time, as I said, I believe, and it, of course, will be all sped up if you haven't noticed, but it's going to be a lot quicker. So the idea of the zoo is going to be very tropical, kind of eco-friendly, friendly to the animals, but it's also going to be kind of modern mixed with rustic at the same time. So you're going to see like a lot of wood, brick, and glass and plaster work in these builds. And I don't get to an enclosure in this video, but I definitely do in the next one. So if you're looking for enclosures, they start in the next one. But no, this build just turns out beautiful and I'm really, really proud of it. I've been learning a lot from other creators on YouTube lately, and I find that they're really, really helpful for gaining insight and some tricks on how to do this and like how to make better builds, better enclosures, better greenery and foliage and all of the great stuff. So anyway, here I'm adding in my brick, my glass, my plaster, and going from there. I don't know if you just heard that, but that's my animal, my dog coming in from outside. That's her tippity tap of her toes. Anyway, this building has very large windows. I feel like it's, in a scenic area. They should be able to see out and see outside. And what you're going to see is I use some, I don't really do the interior per se. But what you'll see is I do add like a backdrop and I do like feature plants in this build, which I think really worked out well, in my opinion. I do want to know yours though. So if you do have an opinion, please let me know. I would love to hear it in the comments. I'm still learning and I'm still learning what people like to see and what they want. And I'm trying to narrate a little more because I think maybe that'll help, people kind of stick around. Because, it's kind of boring just to watch people build. But I know it can be kind of soothing too, to sit and just listen and watch people build. So I'm kind of trying to do a mix of that now. So if you guys are liking this, please let me know. If not, definitely let me know so that I will stop. Or change it potentially and just see. But this is probably the most detailed zoo I have ever made. And I am absolutely in love with this zoo so far. But yeah, I'm just chugging along here doing the roofing. And it's, multi-layered and it's just, got a lot of dimensions to it. And just, yeah, we're just zooming along. I do sometimes run into issues like you see there is a little gap. And that gap does get resolved, I promise. So if that's driving you crazy, do not worry. It will be fixed because that kind of stuff drives me nuts. Like, I just can't handle it. Like, I look at it and I'm like, ah. And everybody keeps telling me like, oh, no one else will see it. No one else will see it. And nobody will know. And I'm like, well, I'll know. I will know that it's there. So I must repair this. And so I do fix it. It just takes me a little bit to get there. And it actually looks better with the fix, in my opinion. Because it was like, would have been just straight brick, you know, but then you'll see. And there's another gap, and that drives me nuts too. So here we're fixing the little gap here. And there, and deleting stuff on accident. Yeah, we're just zipping around doing our thing. So, we're, you know, chugging along on the video, and I'm kind of running out of things to say, honestly. And so I would love to remind you that I do need more subscribers, because that helps me know if I'm going in the right direction with these videos, and I need to know if you guys are enjoying these, what I should do differently, if you have any suggestions, comments, concerns even, you know, like, you know, the questions are great. I had somebody who was really friendly, and they asked me to do like a tutorial. They needed help on figuring out how to get animals into the zoo, and I really was happy to help with that, and I made it. And I can make these videos pretty quick for you guys. So like, if you do need help with this game, let me know. I don't know everything, but I know how to find out, and I do know a lot. I have been playing this game ever since it came out, and I've been in absolute love of this game. This is in Sandbox, so there is no money to be concerned with, no credits to be concerned with, and even like guest needs and stuff like that aren't really too much of a concern, and you know, all of those good things. I do love playing franchise mode, but unfortunately, I don't know if it's like my computer, if it's my internet, or if it's just the franchise mode in general, the server, but like whenever I do try to play the franchise mode, it just bugs out on me, and it disconnects me, and it just takes forever to get reconnected, and it's like this whole thing. But interestingly enough, I can play franchise mode at the library. Not really sure why. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, enough of that. I am doing the trim now and fixing that annoying gap, and it makes it look so much nicer, I feel, with having the trim. And it's just plaster. It's just brick, plaster, and glass. And then, like, I think I use, like, the asphalt roofing to add that gray. And then this is painted brick, actually, my mistake. This is painted brick that I'm using because I would like the white and brown, oh my goodness, and red contrast. It does kind of look like a school, but I mean, then again, it's also an education center, so that's kind of what it's supposed to be, is kind of like a school. I kind of feel like down the line I'm gonna make like a children's one, which would look more interactive and stuff like that. So here you're gonna see where I'm gonna make that fake walls to make it look, well, they're not fake, but like it makes it look like there's more happening inside the building than there is. And so I've added these walls to it, and I've made them really dark so it looks like there's depth, making sure it's not poking through the ceiling too much. And then like that. Goodness. And then add flooring as well. I'm just taking a look real quick to see if everything is really good. And then I add this dark green, the same color on the floor to make it look dark and rich. Cover up the little pokey parts. And then I realized they're poking all the way around, so of course I can't just put trim on that little bit. I have to go all the way around the building. Otherwise it looks funny, and so then gotta go for it. And something I used to have a hard time remembering to do is to actually remember to take care of the backs of the buildings too. Like they need love too. Because the goal is to wrap around this building at some point with the enclosures and the paths and stuff like that. So of course you want it to actually look nice all the way around. Just a quick save, always want to save, backing up just to make a check. And then this is where I'm going to add in some rocks and just some foliage just to kind of make it look like a display, like you would expect to see inside like a really fancy place, in my opinion. I want it to kind of match the outside foliage a little bit, which is very rich in foliage, and so I want to make sure that that is represented. And I kind of had a hard time fussing with these lights because I wanted it to be lit up because it is dark in there, and so I was really having a hard time finding a way to make it light up. And I do eventually find what I'm looking for, but it does take a few tries. And here I'm just adding a little more because I'm planning on doing more in front of the windows here. And my puppy just came in and she's just kicking my old dog out of the fluffy bed, and they're all doing their thing. But yeah, here I'm just adding more lights to light everything up. Look at that. Isn't that great? And then I do some flowers, add a little tree. And I just think it looks just so splendid. And then do my roof. And the thing about doing the buildings is that you got to do, typically, okay, not all the time. There we go. These are lights I settle on eventually. Or now, I should say. You have to kind of deal with the inside before you put the roof on, because you're going to see here, it gets really fussy. Like, it's hard to, like, see, look. I'm like, wall, roof, and it's just, and then I'm outside, I'm inside, I'm outside, I'm inside, and it's just, it's a pain. And so, yeah, and there you go. See, I got stuck again. So, that is still something I'm mastering, because I kind of get excited and I'm like, I want to finish the whole house and kind of go for it. Because I'm kind of used to playing like The Sims, where like you just like, you build the outside of the house, you do the roof, and then you build the inside, right? You decorate the insides because you can put the walls down. Well, you can't put the walls down here. And so like you have to like be able to like get in there and do all your things without being, you know, stuck. Which I you know, here I go again. You know, and then I realized I was out a little bit. So it's a challenge building buildings, you know, and like I'm really grateful for my reference, which I'll show you again at the end just so we can kind of see how we did. Look at that. This is so pretty. Just grabbing the flowers, kind of fluffing it up a little bit in there. And I remember the rocks. And then just checking it. Yeah, doing good. You know, you'll see me a lot. I pull out and I look back at it because I'm making sure everything looks how I would expect it to look. And I think I really enjoyed this building, you guys. I really do. And it really doesn't matter like that the trees like all over the place, but on the inside, because you're really not going to see it, because the idea is that you're really only going to be showing up in the middle there in like the entryway, and then like the staff are just going to go in where they're going to go in. So then I start working on this, and I decided that I didn't like this flooring because it looked too matchy to me, because I was breeze block with breeze block, and so I ended up deleting it all and changing out to my favorite wood, these guys. I really like the pattern and the coloring on this woodwork, and so I use it a lot, if you haven't noticed, especially on interiors. I'm getting rid of all the grass by doing some terrain work, and then you can see it just looks terrible when you look at it like this, but like it looks better with the walls and like everything else that like kind of separate it and make it look deeper and darker and more used. Oh, and then I realized I had deleted that little nook there. Just zooming around, doing the thing. We're nearly through the video now. And we're almost done with our building, and then we're gonna do some landscaping outside of it. This building's like almost done. Yeah, look at that. Oh, so beautiful. Just gotta fix the inside now. very difficult to do this. It's just, like I said, it's hard when you can't like just put the walls down and go for it. But you know, we do our best, and I think this worked out really great. And then I debated on doing those little flowers like on that roof, but then I changed my mind. Now this is where I kind of was like, I need this to not look as pristine of a building as it looks. It's supposed to be set in a jungle. So like to have it look like a high school or something, you know, out in the middle of the jungle and it's pristine sounds strange. And so now I'm just decorating the inside to kind of make it look more friendly, more interactive, like, you know, more jungly with the vines and like some greenery and flowers and stuff like that, just to make it look a little bit more used. I hate when things look like they're not used, because it's just like, well, why are you here then? What is this? You know, it's just a building that's just abandoned and it just looks pristine. Like what's going on? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let me know if you feel the same way. And I was trying to figure out the lighting in here. And I was kind of wanting to do these little tiki torches because I thought that was really cute. And then I like looked at them and was like, oh, they got like little faces and it's a little strange. So I ended up putting these in here instead. And then I'll take a peek outside. And then we're going to just kind of go ahead and do our little information boards. I'm going to change the colors just a little bit. Because again, it's an education building, so it should have some education in it. Do some rocks in here just to make it more interesting. Some more plants. And then we need to do the door. Now I thought about doing a glass door, but I decided against it. I like the idea of doing the wood. Because it makes it look a little more rustic. But of course, you know, gotta make it look like it fits, like it's supposed to be there. So go ahead and doing the trim here with the painted brick again. Just to match everything, make it make sense. And we're pretty much done with this building, almost. We do need some signage here. And I was trying to find what I wanted on here, and you know, because it's like, well, it is like information in there, but like I didn't like that. I tried playing around with the colors, and I just, you know, it just didn't fit. And then I was like, oh, maybe an animal. And then I was like, oh, a planet, that's perfect. So do the planet, and then I was like, I need something up top. And I like the gator, but it didn't really like the gator. So I was having a hard time. And then I settled on this little guy. I felt like that was very suiting. Quick save, and then we're gonna go ahead and get going on the landscaping. And I found these little stones, which I'm actually gonna probably use throughout my zoo, to mimic that stone path that was in that image that I'm gonna show you again here at the end. I started with the doubles, and because I was thinking that that's what was in the photo, because I kind of forgot. And then I looked back at it and I realized that it wasn't two stones next to each other, it was actually one. And so then I actually fixed that, which I think looks just 100% better. Now these stones aren't exactly like, I didn't make them where you could walk on them, like for the people could walk on them or the staff could walk on them. But they are really, I like them. I think they're really great. Yeah, I save a lot. And see, there you go. I save a lot because of my Sims game has trained me to save a lot, because like my Sims likes to crash and then I lose like all my work. And so I've kind of learned that from there. So here we're just making the patio. And I actually end up changing those out because I wanted it to not be so matchy-matchy. Now, something I've been seeing done a lot of videos online is they cover up their pathing, and then they I tried to make that corner work for everything and I couldn't get it to work. They cover up their pathing and you just sink it, you know, you put something on top and you just sink it down, and so that they can walk. It looks good when they walk through it, because of course they can walk through anything. They can walk through the walls and the doors and the windows and everything. If there's a path going through it, they can walk through it. But it looks funny. So funny weird, not funny haha. Well, I mean, sometimes it's funny haha. Anyway, so yeah, but you just sink it down and you can cover up your paths and you can really do a lot with it. And I really thought that was cool. And so here I'm just still mimicking that photo because they have yellow flowers. And then I noticed they had like this little trellis thing on the top. And I was really grateful for the conservation pack, because I knew they had this little trellis in there. And so I grabbed it, and it just makes it look just so much better. And then these are on the bottom. They're kind of crooked in the picture, so I made them crooked in here. And I think it just looks so fantastic. I just can't get over it. And then, yeah, a little terrain work. And then they have these like this covered area here. And I wanted to mimic that as well, because I thought that looked really cool. It's almost like a little trellis. And so I was kind of trying to make my own using the wood. And then I was like, oh, then I'll box it in, you know. And then I was like, well, wait, you know, I can just like make my own box. So yeah, so I found these little pieces and then I decided to use those. And I just like, yeah, and I got rid of the wood, except for the bottom pieces. And then just made myself like a little planter box. Now this is different from the picture, but of course I'm not trying to completely mimic the picture. But I really think I really enjoy how this whole thing turned out. It's just really, really pretty. And it's like I said, I can't believe, you know, it's one of those things, like I'm doing these things and like I can't believe I'm creating these things, because like I'm like, did I really make that? That's so great. Like, it's so different from what I've been doing and creating, and it's just blowing my mind, and I just love it. And I just love the inspiration that's come from the videos online. You know, it's really inspiring. I mean, there's so many amazing creators out there, and I hope that I can like be up to par with some of them, you know, and be nice to be one of them. You know, be an inspiration to other people and make them want to play and build and be creative and have a blast. So I did put these tables here because I thought it looked cool. And then they won't really use them because there's no food sources out here. But like they literally could if they wanted to, because there is like, it's on the path. And then I thought about putting these flowers on the top, almost like a place setting. I think they're really pretty. Again, trying to get that tropical vibe, but like also modern and, you know, rustic at the same. So like here I'm using bamboo instead of wood, like regular wood, because like we're tropical. I'm just making sure they're all the same. Yeah, I suspect I'm going to use bamboo a lot throughout the zoo, just because it makes sense. Being like, this is tropical, you know, bamboo is like really easy to grow and maintain, and like harvest is really good. It's really eco-friendly, and like, it makes sense. It just makes sense for the zoo. Making our little trellis. Almost done. I just want to say I really do appreciate you guys watching and listening to me, and I hope you enjoy these videos, because, you know, I sure enjoy doing them. I really do hope that you're being inspired. That's my goal. So yeah, I felt like these were pretty done, but we needed some more greenery for the building itself. It feels like it sticks out like a sore thumb at this point. And so, that's not really what I want. Like, it's this massive building, but like, I feel like it's sticking out like a sore thumb. And so like, I just really want to make sure that it blends in, making sure I do my heights, you know, for the flowers and the grasses and trees and stuff like that, where it makes sense. I just watched a really cool video on how to do foliage properly in this game, and it just like changed how I do it and how I view it. And the way they explained it was like, when the plant is growing, it's going to be tallest at its point, you know, growth point. But then, you know, as it throws its seeds down, it goes out and then it like makes smaller plants around it. And they grow slowly, and then they throw their seeds out, and so on and so forth. And so like, it's very unusual to see like grasses and stuff that are all the same height, and it's unusual to see like them to be the same color. Like, it's good to like mix up the colors like you see I'm doing now, and to like different textures in there. And I really love this periwinkle. It's like my favorite right now. It looks kind of like moss, and it's just like so soft looking and green, and it's such a pretty color, green, and it's just like, I don't know, I love it right now. And I just like, gives you that it's overgrown look that I can achieve with using it. And so as you can see, I'm just kind of extending out the foresty vibe, the rainforest vibe, or tropical vibe, from our previous collection of foliage, and just filling it out. And I'm just kind of checking around right now, and we are really almost done. I do still feel like this kind of is sitting out like a sore thumb, and so I find these grapevines, and I know that's not quite spot on, but I think like it looks really nice. And so I end up covering the building with these vines, and it just really like chef's kiss, mwah, makes it look just so perfect, at least in my opinion. Hopefully yours too. I really would like to know. I am so stinking proud of how this turned out, though. The zoo is like my favorite so far. I know I keep saying it. I know it. But it's like, I love it. And you know, the thing is too, is I'm really excited about it, because like, it feels like so much more opportunity to grow from this. Like, this is such a strong start to the zoo that it's gonna just have ample places to grow from here. Anyway, we're coming up at the end very quickly, and I just want to say thank you again. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment if you can. I really do appreciate it. And most of all, again, I hope you're inspired, and I hope you are having a beautiful day, night, or whatever time it is for you. Goodbye.